Okay, children. Today we will be discussing one question paper. This paper is set by a board paper setter, and more or less the paper will be of this type even in board also. First, I will display the question paper and I will also be discussing the solution of every question. So myself, I am Professor Musale, teaching maths and physics since 1989, particularly to the CBSE students, and that too mainly JEE and physics to the NEET students. Having taught for almost 34 years, I know the importance of even a day before the exam, even for JEE or NEET, and that too for boards. We are having number of children who performed very well in JEE, NEET, even we have the All India first rank also. I have taught nearly 168 batches of 12th CBSE, and today I will be discussing this Maths 1 paper where you will be appearing for the exam tomorrow. The paper is said by the chief moderator who was a board paper setter also. So initially, I will just go through the question paper, the pattern and everything. नुसतं इंग्लिश मध्ये बोलायचं का मराठीमध्ये पण आधीमध्ये गरज आहे. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग, तुम्हाला कोणाला काहीही जरी क्वेश्चन्स असतील तर मध्ये सध्या चॅट पण करायचं नाही आणि मध्ये अनम्यूट तर करता येणारच नाही. वी विल टेक युअर क्वेश्चन्स ॲट द एंड. सेकंड थिंग, जस्ट टू सेव्ह युअर टाइम, I have already prepared the answers for every single question, and those answers I will be discussing with you. Intention is just to save the time. Otherwise, I could have solved the question in front of you. But since we have postponed the exam, in fact, I am really sorry. Yesterday, we genuinely had some unavoidable circumstances. So we had to postpone the discussion, and I sincerely regret for it, and I really apologize for that. Having said that, we'll continue with the paper. You know that your paper is for 40 marks. Paperचा pattern तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे. I'm talking in English mainly because we have preferred semi-English and English medium students. मध्ये मध्ये थोडंसं मराठी बोलेल, जरी सुद्धा आपल्याला असं वाटलं मराठी मीडियमचे मुलं जरी याच्यात बसली असतील तर फक्त तुमचं काय आहे, लँग्वेज मराठीमध्ये असणार आहे. तुमच्या पेपरची लँग्वेज मराठीमध्ये असणार आहे, क्वेश्चन सेम असणार आहेत. मराठी मीडियम असो, सेमी इंग्लिश असो किंवा इंग्लिश असो, सगळ्यांना क्वेश्चन पेपर हा सेम असतो बोर्डामध्ये. ते तुम्हाला सगळं माहितीच आहे, मी त्याच्यावर बोलायची गरज नाही. तसा आपला पहिला क्वेश्चन जो आहे, choose the correct answer and write the alphabet of it in front of the sub question number. याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला 4 क्वेश्चन्स आहेत. All the 4 are compulsory. There are about 4 questions and all the 4 are compulsory. Okay, then we have question number 1B. This is very short answer type question. एका मार्काचा प्रश्न आहे आणि याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा आपल्याला 4 प्रश्न असणार आहेत. त्यानंतर क्वेश्चन 2A, complete the following activities and rewrite it. There will be 3 questions. Out of that we have to solve any 2. कोण्याही विद्यार्थ्यानं सुरुवातीला ऑप्शन्स सोडवायचा प्रयत्न करायचा नाही. जेवढी क्वेश्चन सोडवायला सांगितली तेवढीच सोडवायची. As you know that your exam is for 2 hours, that means about 120 minutes, and the paper is for 40 marks. So you will get nearly 3 minutes for 1 mark. So when you are attempting objective question, म्हणजे तुम्ही ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह जरी अटेम्प्ट करत असाल किंवा व्हेरी शॉर्ट आन्सर जरी अटेम्प्ट करत असाल तर क्वेश्चन हा अतिशय शांतपणे वाचायचा. कधी कधी पॉसिबिलिटी असते की आपण थोडंसं घाईमध्ये प्रश्न वाचताना आपण एखादी मिस्टेक करू शकतो. म्हणून क्वेश्चन हा निवांत वाचायचा, कारण आपल्याला एका मार्कासाठी नियरली 3 मिनिट आहेत. त्यामुळे घाई ॲब्सोल्युटली करायची नाही. स्टेप्स सुद्धा कट करायच्या नाहीत. स्टेप वाईज आन्सर लिहायचं. आपण जेव्हा आता क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करणार आहे तेव्हा मी तुम्हाला सांगेलच ते. त्याच्यानंतर क्वेश्चन 2B जो आहे, 5 क्वेश्चन्स. या क्वेश्चन पेपर मध्ये 4 क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला दिसत आहेत, पण मी 5वा क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी घेतलेला आहे. आउट ऑफ 5 यू हॅव टू सॉल्व एनी 4, आणि प्रत्येक क्वेश्चन हा 2 मार्क्सचा असणार आहे. देन वी हॅव क्वेश्चन नंबर 3A, complete the following activities and rewrite it. याच्यामध्ये 2 ऍक्टिव्हिटीज असणार आहे, त्याच्यातली आपल्याला एकच ऍक्टिव्हिटी कंप्लीट करायची आहे. There will be 2 activities, out of which you have to solve only 1. Okay, then we are having question number 3B, solve the following sub questions, any 2, but here there will be 4 questions. There will be 4 questions and each question here will be carrying 3 marks. We have to solve any 2 questions. Many a times मुलं काय करतात की आपल्याला क्वेश्चन याच्यातले येतात म्हणून विथ ऑप्शन पण सोडवून ठेवतात. तुम्ही जर येथेच इन बिटवीन जर विथ ऑप्शन सोडवायला लागलात तर होऊ शकतं की तुम्हाला पुढच्या प्रश्नाला वेळ पुरणार नाही. त्यामुळे आउट ऑफ 4 सपोज एनी 2 असतील तर 4ही क्वेश्चन्स नीट वाचावेत आणि जी तुम्हाला 2 बेस्ट वाटतात ती चूज करावे, ती अगोदर सोडवावी. संपूर्ण पेपर सॉल्व झाल्याच्या नंतर जर तुम्हाला असं वाटलं की नाही मी एखादा एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चन किंवा विथ ऑप्शन सोडवणार आहे किंवा गरज आहे, that time you can take the chance, but do not take any chances in between. Then we are having question number 4, solve the following sub questions, any 2. Here also you will be having 3 questions. Out of 3 you have to solve any 2. And lastly we have question number 5, solve the following sub questions, any 1. When we are having question number 4, solve any 2, each question will be carrying 4 marks. And question number 5, any 1, and that will be carrying 3 marks. Most important thing आहे की क्वेश्चन वाचताना नीट वाचायचा. You have to be very careful while reading the question. There will be no question which will be very hard, or there will be no questions which will be very easy. There is nothing like this. There is a fixed pattern and the question paper will be as per the pattern only. So you don't have to bother about that whether the exam will be difficult. Exam will be never difficult. Of course, those who are prepared, for them exam will be always easy. and even if suppose some people are not prepared, तरी आता राहिलेल्या लेसन्स वर वेळ देऊ नका. जी लेसन्स तुमची करून झालेली आहेत, जी लेसन्स तुम्हाला नीट येतात, त्याच लेसनची रिव्हिजन करावी. हा जो क्वेश्चन पेपर जो डिस्प्ले केलेला आहे, द पेपर विच इज डिस्प्लेस्ड, ओके, हा सेम क्वेश्चन पेपर तुमच्या ग्रुपमध्ये येणार आहे. अँड इव्हन त्याचं सोल्युशन सुद्धा तुमच्या ग्रुपमध्ये येणार आहे. आणि आता ही जी मीटिंग चालू आहे, दिस मीटिंग इज गेटिंग रेकॉर्डेड. So even that video also, that video will also be, will be posted in your group. तर तुम्हाला जर असं वाटलं की परत तुम्हाला बघून घ्यायचं आहे, तर ते सुद्धा तुम्हाला करता येईल. ओके, नाउ आय विल डायरेक्टली मूव टू द सोल्युशन. मी सोल्युशन ऑलरेडी का बनवून ठेवलं की मला फक्त तुमचा थोडा वेळ वाचवायचा आहे म्हणून, नाहीतर मी सगळी प्रश्न तुमच्या समोरासमोर सुद्धा सॉल्व केली असती. ओके, पण आता मी ऑलरेडी सॉल्व करून ठेवलेली आहेत, तर त्याचं सोल्युशन आपण तुमच्या समोर क्वेश्चन सोल्युशन डिस्कस करूया. सो दॅट विल हेल्प यू अँड दॅट विल सेव्ह युअर टाइम. ठीक आहे, सो जस्ट गिव्ह मी 1 minute. आय विल डिस्प्ले द सोल्युशन. माझा सगळ्यांना आवाज येतो का? एम आय ऑडिबल टू एव्हरीबडी? जर कोणाला आवाज येत नसेल तर प्लीज तुमच्या मोबाईलचं किंवा लॅपटॉपचं किंवा जी काही तुम्ही डिव्हाइस वापरता त्याचा फक्त व्हॉल्यूम चेक करा, किंवा तुमची जी कॉर्ड असेल त्या कॉर्डचं कनेक्शन चेक करा. होप आय एम ऑडिबल टू एव्हरीबडी. प्रत्येकाला माझा आवाज येतो असं मी गृहीत धरतो. ठीक आहे. नाउ वी हॅव द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. What is the degree of the determinant? What is the degree of this determinant? Our determinant is A, B, C, D. This is our first row. This is second row. So this determinant is of the order 2 by 2. That means there are 2 rows and 2 columns. Therefore, the degree of this determinant is 2. When you are writing the option, so you have in exam, you have to write question number 1, option D, and answer 2. How to write it? Question number 1, A. In that, first, this you can make as a main heading also. First, option D, and answer is 2. Option is D and answer is 2. हे संपूर्ण लिहायचं. You have to write this everything. Okay. Second question. What is the sum of the first 10 natural numbers? You know that you have to use that formula. Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And it is like 1 to 10. So you know that first term is 1, common difference, that is d is also 1, and n is 10. जरी 1 मार्कचा क्वेश्चन असेल तरी सॉल्व करून बघावं. हा ऑप्शन असेल किंवा तो ऑप्शन असेल असं करू नका. Do not try to guess the question. You already have 3 minutes. 2 minutes will be more than enough to solve and find the answer. आणि तुमचं then you'll find that your answer is 55 after calculating it. So त्याचा ऑप्शन C आहे, and that is 55. Next question is, how many alphanumericals are there in the GSTIN of registered dealer? So there are 15 alphanumericals, not 10. 10 is the PAN number. 10 is the PAN number. So 10 is a wrong answer. There will be 15 alphanumericals. Okay, so the answer B. Which of the following, this is very important, read this properly, cannot represent. काही मुलं रीड करताना चुका करू शकतात. Which of the following cannot represent the probability? You know that probability is never more than 1. 1 means 100%. So this 2 by 3 is less than 1. 18%, that is also less than 100%. 0.9 is also less than 1. So the question is, which of the following cannot represent? So we cannot have the probability that is 1.5. So probability 1.5 is 150%. So that is not possible. That's why option B is the correct option for this question. So I will always suggest, एक मार्काचा जरी क्वेश्चन असेल तरी त्याला सॉल्व करायचा प्रयत्न करा. Okay, now we will move to next question. Solve the following sub questions. See what is asked. बघा काय विचारलंय आपल्याला. They are asking find the value of x minus y. Equation काय दिलेला आहे. 8x plus 3y is equal to 17 and 3x plus 8y is equal to 27. They are asking you x minus y. Y is minus. That means it should be 3y minus 8y. So when you are writing this question, right, and getting this will give you half mark. So 8x plus 3y is 17, 3x plus 8y is 27. If we subtract this second equation from the first, you will get 5x minus 5y, and that will be minus 10. Be careful about this minus sign. And therefore, if you divide by 5, you will get x minus y, and that will be minus 2. There is a possibility that in a hurry, you might write that as 10. So be very careful about this. And this will give you another half mark. Okay, next question. Find the roots of the quadratic equation. Find the roots of the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation, that is, we are having two brackets. You know the meaning. When we say that the two brackets product is 0, then either one bracket is 0 or both are 0. So here you will be getting half mark for this step. That is, x plus 5 into x minus 4 is 0. This means either x plus 5 is 0 or x minus 4 is 0. And therefore, you will get x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to 4. And writing these roots will give you another half mark. Question number 3. Find the next two. This is again important. Next two terms of an AP. next two terms. Where A is given to you, A is first term. A is first term. Common difference is also given to you. They are asking you find next two terms. That means you have to find second and third term. First term is already given to you. First term is already given to you. So your T1 is a first term, that is -3. Common difference is 4. You want to find next two terms. That means you have to find T2 and T3. You don't have to find T1 and T2. Next two terms. So T1 will be A plus D. You already know A and you know D. So T2 will be 1 and T3 will be 5. That is A plus 2D. A plus 2D. So next two terms will be 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Okay. Now next question. Pawan Medical supplies medicines. On some medicines, the rate of GST is 12%. What is the rate of CGST and SGST? You know that CGST means central GST and SGST means state GST. The percentage for both is same. There is an equal share of CGST and SGST. Total is 12%. So therefore, each will be 6%. Question number 2A. Complete the following activities and rewrite it. Example is given to you. Complete the following activity to solve the simultaneous equations. काय question दिलेला आहे? The question is 3x plus 2y is equal to 29 and 10x minus 2y is equal to 36. ही activity आहे ती आपल्याला complete करायची आहे. So they have already given this question and this question. Now what they are doing? They are adding the equations. या equations ला ते add करतायत. So 3x plus 2y is 29 and 10x minus 2y is 36. When you are adding them, so it will be 65. So 13x will be 65 and therefore x will be 5. That is this part. So here you'll be having 65, it will be 5 out here. Then substituting the value of x in equation 1. So you are substituting this value of x in first equation. So it will be 15 plus 2y, that is 29, and therefore y will be 7. This is first activity. Okay, you solve this paper later on. I will send this PDF also in the group. Complete the following activity to determine the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation x square plus 2x plus 9 is equal to 0. Now what is the activity? Compare this equation, that is x square plus 2x plus 9 is equal to 0 with the standard quadratic equation, which is x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. After comparing, you will find that value of A is 1, value of B is 2, and what will be the value of C? The value of C will be 9. Value of C will be 9. So we have to fill the empty spaces. Then they are finding the value of B square minus 4AC. b square minus 4ac. Okay, b square minus 4. Here you'll have to substitute the value of a. Okay, and then so it will be b square minus 4ac. Ultimately, the answer is minus 32. Since this minus 32 is less than 0, it's a negative value. So therefore, b square minus 4ac, which is minus 32, is less than 0. Therefore, the roots are not real. Sometimes they are also called, or they are also known as, imaginary roots. Okay, but you should use the words from your textbook. So in your textbook, you are having the word not real. Then we have the second activity. Two coins are tossed. Two coins are tossed simultaneously. Complete the following activity for writing the sample space S and expected outcomes of the events. You know that this question is from probability. Okay. So what is that? Now what they are saying? What they are saying, event A is to get at least one head. Event A is to get at least one head. Event B is to get no head. Okay. Now what is the activity? So if two coins are tossed simultaneously, if two coins are tossed simultaneously, now we are having two coins. Each coin has head and tail. You know this. What it is saying, if two coins are tossed simultaneously, so what is the possibility? What is the possibility? There can be both head, both tail, first head, second tail, or first tail, second head. याच्यातल्या out of this already you are having two. These two are already there. So here you will be having HH. Okay, there will be HH and TT. That will be the sample space. That will be the sample space. HH, HT, TH, and TT. Now your event is to get at least one head. You need at least one head. That means only this. Where you are having both the tails is not possible. At least, it is not at most. It is not at most. It is at least. If it is at most, then you will have only HH. So your event is to get at least one head. So that will be HH, HT, and TH. And event B is to get no head. No head means both tail. No head means both tail. Okay, so you have to be very careful while reading the sample space as well as the events. Not only that, whether they are asking it is at least or at most, that is also important. So read the question properly and then select the option. Now we have question 2B. Solve the following sub questions. Any 4 questions we have to solve. The first question is from a determinant. And you know, in case of determinant, you have to take the cross multiplication. This into this minus this into this. That means it will be 3 into 1 minus 2 into m, that is 35. So the value of M will be 16. Okay, so this step will give you half mark. This step will give you half mark and the answer will give you half mark. Okay, that will be 1 mark each now. This will give you 1 mark, this will give you 1 mark. It is a 2-mark question. So there are 2 marks for this question. From the quadratic equation, that form the quadratic equation whose roots are -3 and 8. If you remember, you have the general means whenever you are having the roots as alpha and beta, you know that the equation is x square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the roots is equal to 0. This is value of alpha. This is value of alpha and this is value of beta. Substitute the values of alpha and beta and simplify it. So your final answer will be x square minus 5x minus 24 is equal to 0. Okay. Next question is find the 19th term of an AP. Find the 19th term of an AP. Terms are given to you 7, 14, 19, 25. If you look at it, the first term is 7. That is value of A. And if you take the difference between any two, 13 minus 7 or 19 minus 13, that will be the common difference. So value of D will be 6. They are asking you 19th term. For this, we will use the formula of nth term. We will use the formula of nth term. And you know that Tn is given by A plus n minus 1 into D. Here the value of n will be 19 because they are asking us 19th term. N is 19. So you can substitute the value. A is given to you, N is also given to you, and D is given to you. Just simplify it. The 19th term will be 115. You have to solve this. Okay, while solving, be very careful. If this is a 2 marks question, you nearly have 5 minutes. So there is no need of hurrying, no need of panicking. Okay, next question. 2-digit numbers are formed using digits 2, 3, and 5. Read it properly. 2-digit numbers are formed. Means there will be only 2 digits. Using digits 2, 3, 5. Without repetition. Number should not be repeated in that 2 digit. Means you cannot have 2, 2. You cannot have 3, 3. You cannot have 5, 5. What is the probability that the number formed is odd? So we are having 2, 3, 5. So if you are selecting the number 2, then have a pair with this, and then 2 will have a pair with 5. When you are selecting this 3, that will have with 2, and 3 will have with 5 also. When you are selecting 5, 5 will have a pair with 2, and 5 will have a pair with 3. So these will be the 2-digit numbers that will make your sample space. That will make your sample space. So there will be 6 numbers, or there will be 6 pairs. There will be 6 2-digit numbers. So number of sample space. Sometimes it is also known as cardinal number. So there are the value of n of s is 6. Now what is the event? The event is what is the probability that the number formed is odd. Now look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. So 23 is odd, 25 is odd, 35 is odd, and 53 is odd. Okay. So the other numbers that is 32 and 52, they are not odd, you know it. And now you want to find the probability, and the formula is the probability of this event will be always remember probability is less than 1, means the bigger number should be always in a denominator. This is the formula. So n of a upon n of s. N of a upon n of s. You can also write this as, sometimes you can write this, probability of a is equal to n of a upon n of s. That will be 4 upon 6, which will be 2 by 3. And the fifth question is, Najma is a proprietor of a firm registered under GST. She has paid GST of rupees 12,500 on purchase and collected rupees 14,750 on sale. What is the amount of ITC to be claimed? And what is the amount of GST payable? So how much is the output tax? Output tax is 14,750. Okay. For that she is selling. Okay. That is collected. And she is buying at 12,000, means while buying, she is paying the GST of 12,500. While selling, she is collecting the GST of 14,750. So ITC will be the cost or the money paid by her when she is buying or purchasing. That will be 12,500. And then GST payable by Najma will be output tax minus input tax or tax while purchasing. And if we find the difference, okay, if we find the difference, it will be 2,250. So ITC claimed by Najma is 12,500 and GST payable by Najma is 2,250. Okay. These steps while solving, be careful. Do not try to avoid the step. If you write, suppose 1 or 2 steps extra, that doesn't matter. But if you miss a step, you might lose marks. Okay. Then we have question number 3. Complete the following activities and rewrite it. Complete the following activities and rewrite it. Sri Shantilal purchased 150 shares of face value rupees 100 for market value rupees 120. Company paid dividend 7%. Complete the following activity to find the rate of return on his investment. So we know that face value, this is the activity. These things will be given to you. You just have to fill the empty spaces. Whatever is not Whatever is not there in that bracket, you have to calculate and write your numbers, write your values. Face value is rupees 100. Number of shares are 150. Market value is 120. Now, sum invested means the money he has invested, that will be always market value of the share into number of shares. You know the market value of the shares. Market value of the shares is 120 and number of shares which he is buying is 150. So if you multiply them, it will be about 18,000 rupees. So his investment is 18,000. Remember, dividend is always calculated on total face value. Means whenever you are having a face dividend, now what is asked here? Total dividend is not asked. They are asking dividend per share, means for one share. So dividend per share will be face value into rate of dividend. It is given to you that rate of dividend is 7%. So therefore, the dividend will be 7 and total dividend will be dividend per share into number of shares. So that will be 7 into 150 and that will give you 1050. Now they are asking what is the rate of return. Rate of return is always the income upon investment into 100 if they are asking the percentage. Income upon investment or dividend is the income and investment is the market value which he paid into 100. So that income is 1050, investment is 18,000 into 100. If you calculate this, while calculating also, if you cancel these two zeros, this also, so it will be 105 upon 18. You must do these calculations. So it will be 5 integer 15 by 18. You can calculate that. So it will be 5.83. Do not leave your, at least you have to have your answer up to 2 digits. कमीत कमी 2 digit पर्यंत तरी आपला आन्सर असलं पाहिजे. Okay. Next activity is complete the following activity by filling in the boxes. बघायचं तुम्हाला काय दिलेलं आहे. फर्स्ट कॉलम मध्ये एज ग्रुप दिलेला आहे. Age group 20 to 25. So there are number of persons are 80. Between 25 to 30, number of persons are 60. Between 30 to 35, there are 35 people. Okay, that is persons. And 35 to 40, there are 25 persons. So total number of persons are 200. Total number of persons are 200. Now what they are asking, measure of the central angle. You know the formula. You know the formula, that is number of persons upon total person into 360. Why 360? The total angle in that circle will be 360 degree. So it will be 80 upon 200 into 360. You just calculate that, it will be 144. For second is 60 upon 200 into 360. That will be 108. Then 35 upon 200 into 360. 25 upon 200 into 360. That will be 45. Total you calculate, it will be 360. Okay. So that activity you have to complete. So complete the following activity by filling the boxes. Okay. So be careful about this. While calculating the angle, be careful about the calculations also. Now we have question number 3B. Solve the following sub questions, any two. This question belongs to the first lesson and this is from Cramer's rule. It is from the determinant method. First equation is given to you. First equation is 5x plus 3y is equal to minus 11. X plus 2y is equal to minus 5. Now you have to first find D. For finding D, it will be the coefficients of x and y. This first row will be the coefficients of x and y from first equation, and second row will be the coefficients from second equation of x and y. Then you are having the constants, the values of C1 and C2. Values of C1 and C2 are minus 11 and minus 5. When we are writing dx, x will be replaced, these will be replaced. X will be replaced for dx. And when we are writing dy, then y will be replaced by C1, C2. Y will be replaced by C1, C2. For dx, this is replaced, that is x is replaced. And for y, this second column is replaced. Now you know how to multiply, cross multiplication. So you first find the value of D. Value of D will be 5 into 2 minus 3 into 1 or 1 into 3. That will be 7. Then dx also, multiply this with this. Be very careful, minus this into this. This was minus 11 into 2 minus 5 into 3. Be very careful about this. Be very careful. So this will be minus 15. This is minus 22. And because of this will become plus 15. So that's why your answer is minus 7 for this. Similarly for dy, be very careful. While calculating the values of d, dx and dy, you have to be very careful about the sign. एकदम काळजीपूर्वक सोडवायचं ते. And then value of x is dx upon d. And y is dy upon d. So you calculate that, value of x will be minus 1 and value of y will be minus 2. Okay, therefore the solution will be minus 1 comma minus 2. Is that okay? Now solve the quadratic equation using formula method. You know the formula method. We have to use here formula method. Equation is given to you. 5m square is equal to 22m plus 15. Take these two terms to the left side. So it will be 5m square minus 22m minus 15. Now we have to compare this with x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Be very careful. A is 5, b is minus 22, c is minus 15. Then calculate the value of b square minus 4ac. b square, that is 22. In fact, it is minus 22 square. It is minus 22 its square. Minus 4 into a into c. So this total will be 748. Okay, 748. The square root of that will be 28. Formula is, this is very important. Formula will give you 1 mark. Formula is minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac. whole divided by 2a. Sometimes by mistake, students write like this: b square minus 4ac upon 2a. It is not here, it is complete. Be careful about this. This doesn't happen normally, but there are cases like this. So if you substitute the values, you can find the value of m. Okay, you can find the value of m. So the roots will be 5 and minus 3 by 5. Do these calculations later on. Just to save your time, I have already given the calculations also. Okay, so these two roots. Finally, you can write what they are asking, that is, solve the quadratic equation using formula. And then you can also say, therefore roots are 5 comma minus 3 by 5. Okay, next question. Srimati Malhotra purchased solar panels for the taxable value rupees 85,000. She sold them for rupees 90,000. The rate of GST is 5%. Find the ITC of Srimati Malhotra. What is the amount of GST payable by her? Okay. Now, what she is doing? She is buying it for 85,000. She is buying it for 85,000. And GST is 5%. So calculate 5% of that 85,000. By mistake, it is written 8,500. It should be 85,000. Okay, so 85,000, 5% of 85,000, that will be about 4,250. And then when she is selling it for 90,000, again she is collecting GST of 5%. Okay, so we have to calculate 5% of that 90,000. That will be 4,500. GST payable. This formula is very important. GST payable is always output tax minus ITC. Output tax means what she has collected. Input tax means what she has paid. So the difference will be the payable GST. So it will be 4,500 minus 4,250. That will be 250. That will be 250. Then you have the next question. A milk center sold milk to 50 customers. The table below gives the number of customers and the milk they purchased. Find the mean of milk they sold by direct method. It is mentioned here that you have to find the mean by direct method. Okay, so this table is already given to you. Milk sold. Okay, milk sold, that is in liters. Between 1 to 2 liters, there are 17 customers. Between 2 to 3 liters, there are 13 customers. Between 3 to 4 liters, there are 10 customers. Between 4 to 5, there are 7 customers. Between 5 to 6, there are 3 customers. Okay. Whenever this range is given, you have to find the mean of this. Mean of this means mean of 1 and 2. So add them, divide by 2. It will be 1.5. 1 plus 2, that is 3 by 2. Then add this and find the mean of that. Find the mean of this. Find the mean of this. Okay, so these values are the mean values. They are also known as class marks, and it is denoted by xi. And the number of customers will give you frequency. Number of customers will give you frequency. म्हणजे याची frequency आपल्याला दिलेली आहे. So that is 17, 14, 10, 7, 3. Total frequency हे जर सगळे ऍड केले तर it will come to 50. मग लास्ट टेबल काय असणार आहे तर F1 और FIXI टेबल प्रॉपर प्रिपेअर करायचा. प्रॉपर प्रिपेअर करायचा टेबल. ओके, so it will be FIXI. Multiply this with this, multiply this with this, multiply this with this, multiply this with this, multiply this with this. These will be the products. Add the total. And then what is the formula? The formula is for mean, that is X bar. Formula is sigma FIXI upon sigma Fi. This formula is very important. Then you substitute the value, that is 141 upon 50. Calculate that. Do it later on. Okay? Do it later on. Calculate that. Then we have the next question. Solve the following sub questions. Any two. Okay. One tank can be filled. One tank can be filled up by 2 taps in 6 hours. There are 2 taps, and those 2 taps, they are filling the tank in 6 hours. Out of the 2 taps, one is a smaller tap and the other is a bigger tap, we can say. The smaller tap, not tank actually, it should be tap. The smaller tap alone takes 5 hours. The smaller tap, it should not be tank, it should be tap. The smaller tap alone takes 5 hours more than the bigger tap alone. Find the time required by each tap to fill the tank separately. Now, we will consider that the bigger tap will require let's say X hours. जो मोठा tap आहे त्याला suppose X hours लागतात. Obviously, we know that it is given to us. Smaller tap requires 5 hours more. It is requiring 5 hours more. So therefore, the number of hours required for the smaller tap, the bigger tap is taking X, and the time required by the smaller tap, not bigger. This is by mistake again here. This is a typing mistake. It should be smaller tap. It should be smaller tap. It will be 5 more hours. Okay. Now these are total number of hours for, this is for bigger and this is for smaller. So first we will calculate it per hour. Per hour means reciprocal of this and reciprocal of this. Okay, so 1 by X, that is in 1 by means the amount of water provided by the bigger tap per hour will be, so in 1 hour it will provide 1 by X tank is filled. Okay, and in 1 hour 1 by X plus 5th tank, total hour किती है X, मग 1 by X will be per hour, 1 by X plus 5 will be per hour by the smaller one. दोघां मिळून किती लागतायत 6 hours. दोघां मिळून 6 hours लागतायत. So therefore, in 6R, bigger tap will provide 6 upon X, and the smaller tap will provide 6 upon X plus 5. 6 upon X plus 5. And the total will be the sum of the two. The total will be the sum of the two. So it will be 6 by X plus 6 upon X plus 5, and that will be equal to 1. The tank is filled. So equation will be of this type. This will be the equation. Actually, this is typing mistake. The typist has done this. They have missed the steps which are given. So it will be 6 upon X plus 6 upon X plus 5, that is equal to 1. Take the cross multiplication. So it will be 6 into X plus 5. Take the cross multiplication. Divided by this, that is equal to 1. Simplify it. Finally, you will get the values of X as 10 and X as -3. But X is number of hours. So therefore, number of hours minus nasnar ahe. So therefore, this is deleted or it is not possible. So therefore, X is equal to 10. That means time required by a bigger tap will be 10 hours, and the time required for the smaller tap will be 5 hours extra. That will be 15. Is that okay? Just be careful about this. Okay, my typist has made some mistakes, but you can correct it. I have already corrected it. Write it hours here. This equation is very, very important. This equation alone will give you 1 mark. Okay, so try to calculate that. Then we have the next question. One person borrows rupees 4,000 and agrees to repay with a total interest of rupees 500 in 10 installments, each installment being less than the preceding installment by rupees 10. What should be the first and the last installment? This question will be from arithmetic progression. Total is, principal is 4,000. Total interest that he will be paying is 500, and he is paying in 10 installments. So number of installments 10, and every installment is reducing by rupees 10. That means common difference will be minus 10. It is reducing. Each installment being less than the preceding by 10. Therefore, value of D is minus 10. Okay. So the total amount will be principal plus interest. That is known as total sum. The total amount will be Sn. You know the formula. Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Substitute the values here. Substitute the values. Finally, you will find that value of A you want to find. So that will be 495. 495. Be careful about the calculations. So what is asked? So what should be the first and the last installment? So how much he is paying? He is paying every month. How much he is paying? First installment is value of A. Okay. So calculate the value of A, and every time he will be paying ₹10 less. So you have to calculate the value of A here, that is 495. Next question is, because we have to finish it by 6:30. Okay. For the following table shows the classification. The following table shows the classification of percentages of marks of students and the number of students. Draw a frequency polygon. Draw a frequency polygon from the table. Here I'm not having the graph papers. I have not drawn. Only we will calculate the values. Okay. Only we will be calculating the values. So for frequency polygon, you have to, these will be the points that you have to plot. Okay, you have to plot the points. Okay. If anybody has a doubt about this, I can, prepare the frequency polygon for this, and I'll send you the solution also in the group. Then we have the last question, that is solve the following sub questions. Anyone? The coordinates of the point of intersection of the lines AX plus BY is equal to 9 and AX plus BY is, this should be, again, there should be a correction. There should be a correction. It should be BX plus AY is equal to 5. Bx plus ay is equal to 5. The coordinates of the point of intersection means these are the values of x and y. Value of x is 3, value of y is -1. Substitute these values in both the equations. Substitute the value of x as 3 and value of y as -1 in both the equations. So x is 3, y is -1. Again, x is 3, y is -1. You calculate the values of A and B, you will find that value of A will be 4 and value of B will be 3. Okay, this point, that is 3, -1, is a point of intersection of these equations. Both the equations will represent lines. Since they are linear equations, they will represent lines. Okay, so value of A and B. And we have the last question. A bag contains 8 red and some blue balls. A bag contains 8 red and some blue balls. One ball is drawn at random from the bag. If the ratio of the probability of getting red balls with the probability of blue balls is 2:5, then find the number of blue balls. See, it is not given how many blue balls, but we know red balls. So let a bag contains X blue balls and there are 8 red balls. Therefore, total number of balls will be X plus 8. That will be value of N of S. Now what they are asking? So first we will find the probability of red ball. How many red balls are there? 8. And how many total balls? Red plus blue, X plus 8. So 8 upon X plus 8 will be the probability of red ball. Then probability of blue ball. How many blue balls are there? X. And total balls, X plus 8. But it is given to you that the ratio of their probability, ratio means dividing. So 8 upon X plus 8 divided by X upon X plus 8. It is given to you, it is 2/5. When you are taking the ratio, just take the reciprocal of that and multiply. So it will be 8 upon X, which will be that both that both x plus 8, they will get cancelled. It will be 8 upon x is equal to 2 by 5, and value of x will be 20. Value of x will be 20. So therefore, you can say that there are 20 blue balls. Okay. Here we have discussed all the questions with options. But again, as I told you right in the beginning, जसं मी तुम्हाला सुरुवातीला सांगितलं, ऑप्शन सहित सोडवायचा प्रयत्न करू नका. तुम्हाला जर एखादी स्टेप्स एक्स्ट्रा लिहायची इच्छा झाली तर लिहा, आणि स्टेप्सला मार्क्स आहेत. जसं आता इथे मी आता सगळं सोल्युशन दिल्याच्या नंतर सुद्धा आमच्या जे कोणी टायपिस्ट आहेत त्यांनी बघून सुद्धा चुकीच्या काही गोष्टी टाईप केल्या. त्यांना त्या कधी असं वाटलं नाही की आपण काहीतरी चुकीचं टाईप केलं किंवा काहीतरी इनकम्प्लीट टाईप केलेला आहे. ह्या गोष्टी आपल्या सोबत सुद्धा परीक्षेमध्ये होऊ शकतात. सो बी व्हेरी केअरफुल अबाउट इट. ओके. अगेन आय एम टेलिंग यू, उगीच एक्स्ट्रा ऑप्शन क्वेश्चन सोडवत बसू नका. डू नॉट जस्ट थिंक ऑफ दी सप्लिमेंट्स. आपण आपला पेपर नंबर ऑफ रिक्वायर्ड क्वेश्चन जेवढी आहेत तेवढी निवांत सॉल्व करा, प्रॉपरली सॉल्व करा. ओके. पेपर परत सांगतो, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ डिफिकल्ट पेपर. एखादा क्वेश्चन जरी डिफिकल्ट असेल तरी त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला ऑप्शन असेल. तुमचे जे काही MCQs आहेत किंवा व्हेरी शॉर्ट आन्सर क्वेश्चन्स आहेत, दे विल बी नेव्हर डिफिकल्ट, बट स्टिल फॉर दॅट 1 mark क्वेश्चन you will get 3 minutes. So try to solve that question and then write the answer.